What's up guys, hope you're all okay. Thanks for tuning into the video. I thought I'd do a little series about sort of trying to improve my aim. I'm currently playing on keyboard and mouse. I first started on keyboard and mouse, I think it was sort of like last June. So I've kind of been on there for maybe like 8 months or so. I've only moved to PC in the past 2 months, so obviously before that was on console, used the controller. I think since moving to keyboard and mouse, my aim has probably equaled what it was on controller, if not slightly better. But the thing is that I usually find is I play a lot of shooting games, and I think sort of about 70% of the time when I die, it's down to just aim. You know, 30% of that time is having bad positioning or bad timing. That's 70% of the time. And the enemy just outshoot me. They hit better shots, they hit headshots, hit more consistent shots. And I think that's the kind of thing that let me down. So to sort of improve my overall shooter experience and performance, I thought I'd give training my aim a good go. The trainer that I was going to use is called Kovaak. It's available on Steam, and I've seen quite a lot of sort of pro players, especially Valorant players and Fortnite players, using it to improve their aim, and sometimes they just use it to warm up. It's basically full of 1,000 scenarios which you would use in every single type of shooter, down to flick shots, tracking, literally anything you can think of. So I thought it'd be a really good way to sort of test myself, push myself, hopefully improve my aim across the next sort of month or so. So as you can see from the clips, my aim isn't too bad. Generically, my sort of KD is always above 1. I sometimes have a bad game where it goes below, but is my KD ever really above sort of like 2-3 on a consistent basis? Not really at all. I'd say it's pretty much just like 1.5 in a push. I really want to use this series as an excuse to push myself to improve my aim, really sort of hone down on sort of things like hitting more consistent shots, being able to track, flick shots, and mainly, especially considering playing a bit more Valorant now, being able to hit more headshots. That's the main one. So here it is guys, my first attempt on Kovaaks. It's just on the sort of generic shooter, sort of side to side, just a bit of the horizontal tracking. I'm not going to show too much of it because it's quite a poor performance, but it's kind of what I expected, and that's one of the reasons I wanted to sort of do this, was to sort of improve my aim. Right guys, the first little test that we're doing is almost like a diagonal tracking thing. On my first attempt at this, I wasn't great. It seems really simple, and it probably should be, but I just really struggled with it. I don't know if it was the pressure of the first one or if I'm genuinely just bad. But either way, I think it shows good room for improvement, and one that I might spend a bit more time on because it's clearly a weakness. As you can see by the results that pop up in just a second, I don't do too bad after the first one. Sort of hit consistently amber, with a couple of green. The way that this sort of thing works is the difficulty increases automatically if you hit 2 greens in a row. So obviously I didn't on that occasion, which I'm quite thankful for because I struggled quite a lot. But obviously in the future maybe we can have something to push for, getting to the next difficulty, and just basically I'm aiming for a bit more consistency. This next one is basically to do with the vertical. I found this one a million times easier because instead of trying to go 2 directions, you just go in one. So it was super easy. So much so that I'm pretty sure the difficulty increased after sort of 2 or 3. But obviously that's kind of what you'd expect considering you're just going in a straight line. Yeah, so as you can see from the results, after 2 straight away it popped straight up. Now I did struggle a little bit, but we slowly improved as the thing went on. But I think that's quite a good base score to go off, and obviously it's better than getting bronze. I actually got a silver on my first attempt on the vertical one, so that's not too bad at all. I went for the horizontal next. Again, this is one direction, but I think it's slightly harder because it does move a little bit quicker. But it wasn't too bad. Would this just be a one direction? It wasn't too bad. In a minute, it moved moves on to a bouncing one. Now I made the mistake of doing the bouncing headshot one first. So obviously with the headshot as opposed to the body shot being a lot smaller target, I struggled big time. And I'm not even sure if I got an amber on a single one of these, as you can see, very bad aim. But obviously that just shows room to improve. After this I did go on to the body shot one, which I performed a lot better on, obviously with it being a bigger target. I wish I'd done it the other way around. But we live and we learn. Okay, San, I got 1 amber. I don't even know how I'm ranked as bronze for that. That's appalling.
3, 2, 1.
So obviously now that I go on to the body tracking one, I think I do a little bit better. I do struggle a little bit because it is quite difficult to sort of track it up and down. But I definitely do a million times better than I do on the headshot one. Obviously the target's bigger, so that's going to help. But maybe this is where I'll probably start my training and then work up towards the headshot one, setting back in my confidence completely. As you can see, I did pretty well, and as the thing went on, I slowly got better and better scores. Ended up in a green, so obviously that is a decent one. The next few clips are just a random sort of few little mini games. They're not necessarily part of that ranked system. They're just based on scores and against the time. These scoreboards go against pretty much, I'm assuming it's everybody in the world who uses the game. The vast majority of my scores were in the hundreds of thousands, so I'm nowhere near the top score, which I didn't really expect to be, but obviously being in the hundreds of thousands shows that it's quite a big room to improve, and I think probably one of my targets would be to get in the top 100,000. I don't know how easy that's going to be, but obviously in the next sort of couple of goes I'll see how far and how easy that will be to attempt, and I'll keep you guys updated. This is the flick shot one, where you basically meant to aim in the middle and then flick around to when you see it pop up. I struggled quite a lot with this one. I realised it's not necessarily to do with the aim, it's more just to do with the timing of the click. But either way, that's something again to improve on. It's not just the aim, it's actually when you shoot as well. These box ones, this thing is called Cube Frenzy or Tile Frenzy or something along the lines. So it was obviously a lot easier, with the targets being a lot bigger. I still obviously managed to miss quite a lot of shots, but it was definitely a million times easier. I scored a lot higher than I did with the small little bubbles. Here's a few more little horizontal mini games. Again, quite enjoyed this one with it having a bit of a vertical aspect to it as well, and the fact that they're bouncing around as well as just being horizontal made it a little bit more challenging. But I enjoyed this one and I actually performed quite well in it, to be fair. Again, there's another vertical one, and obviously I scored pretty highly in it because it's literally 2 directions. For some reason up and down is a lot easier than side to side. Don't know why, but it just is. My aim still isn't great, but I did score quite highly in it. Ultimately, I just want to sort of improve my aim, and throughout this series keep you guys sort of loosely updated more on the scores and how quickly they're improving, and hopefully I'll be able to show you some evidence of improving. My overall goal is to kind of actually see an improvement in the game, because there's no point getting good at the Kovaaks, but then there being no improvement in any of the shooting games. So hopefully by the end of this I'll be able to sort of show off the better aim, better skill, quicker shots, better reaction time. Thanks for watching guys, and don't forget to like and subscribe.